welcome back, welcome back. If you're watching from YouTube, what's up? If you're watching from Twitch, what's up? Okay, Twitch, say hi to YouTube. YouTube, say hi to Twitch. Like, y'all know what it is, right? This is my most recent tournament, just came back. Y'all see me, of course, the last video was on YouTube or watching me play Naroditsky, right? Daniel Naroditsky. That was fun. So this tournament, this was fun. Another learning tournament here. Didn't get the norm here, but definitely learned a lot, and it was fun and had some nice games and some games to learn from as well. This round is round one against FM Todd Andrews. Shout out to Big Todd. In fact, he's the people's champion. I remember him from the chat, and also from YouTube, like in the video, the people's champ, right? Chat says, "Hi YouTube, hi YouTube." Right. Actually, yeah, you're right, Chess Lover. In fact, I am going to do something for Budapest. Of course, we do take donations to help out with the trips, of course, right? For the plane ticket to Budapest ain't gonna be cheap. Big fella. Correct. Chess Lover. But right, yeah, Budapest definitely on the list. Serbia is another one. We're playing for norms and stuff. So this round one, Todd Andrews versus me. And here we go. We got e4, knight of e4 c5, knight of 3, and then I go knight c6, right? He goes d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, right? Knight of 6, knight c3, and now it's black to move, chat. What do you do now? So it's black to move. This is standard theory. And you have a lot of ways to go here, actually. Believe it or not. Which move do you play, chat? Red Hat Mama, what's up? So, all right, chat, where do we go? What do you think I play right here? Standard position, knight c3. What are we playing? Coyote with the e5. E5. We got g6. That's a nice one, right? Dragon, accelerated dragon type stuff, right? We got dragons. I think James must go g6. Okay. I seem like I'm saying except for that funky French. Yeah, that funky French, right? a6. a6 is a move. Some type of knight or right? Some type of. You can also go classical Sicilian d6, right? You have e6, maybe some type of Tamanovi thing. e5, Sveshnikov, right? You know, all these Sicilians, right? And then you have this one right here. This is what I played. Red Hat Mama got it right. h5. So I actually am one of the world's leading experts on this particular position right here. This one in particular. All the responses here I am very, very good at in this position. All right, in this position. Yeah, I mean all the responses, right? Dirty hair, exactly. Yeah, I actually have mini games with this opening. I drew Hikaru twice. Bruh. Yeah, shout out to the big fella. It's actually on his YouTube channel. You can Google it right now. And then go to his YouTube channel, right? Let that man get them views, watch the ads so he can get the ad money, right? But of course, yeah, this was 2 games that I played them and drew, right? So the idea here is just a provocative move, and it gets very aggressive and strange. And it also takes white out of a little bit of theory, right? So I'm a big fan of that. So he goes bishop e2, all right? And you have many moves to go here. You have e6, e5, you have queen c7, queen b6, a6. These are all moves you can play. You can even play g6, which I've seen from an Indian grandmaster, 2600, actually plays g6 here. And that means that he does play this opening. Yes, 2600, he does play this. In fact, g6, right? g6 is what he likes, but it's like some type of dragon in a way with h5. Which is, it could be good, sometimes it could be bad, right? But g6 is what he chooses on the bishop e2 lines. I'm more of a fan of e5, and I have tried e6 as well, and I do like a6. But e5 in this game is what I chose. I wanted to fight for the center some here. That's a different position. So I play e5. He goes knight b5. So the d6 square is very weak. So we go d6, which is very Sveshnikov-like, right? Sveshnikov with a pawn on h5. He goes bishop g5, which is still Sveshnikov-like. Nice development from white here. The engine says everything's equal. a6, knight goes over to a3, right? Knight goes over to a3. And you have a bunch of moves. You have bishop e7, you have bishop e6, you have h4, right? Knight d4, right? I choose the bishop e6 option. I like bishop e6. It makes sense, right? What I'm doing here is I'm just clearing rook c8. The battle here is about this structure right here. Like, let's think about the pawn structure. Pawn structure is always the GPS of the game a lot of times. And this pawn here, yes, is weird and it's provocative. So if you take it, in some cases, you do have just problems to deal with with dynamicism, me being quick and activity of the pieces, to say the least. Activity trumps material most times. That's what Gary says, Gary Kasparov here. So, but I'm going to develop quickly, and I want to push d5. So everything is about d5. So if I can get knight e7 d5, or queen a5, rook d8 d5, or queen a5, move the knight, then play d5. Right, we're going to bank on him taking. He's going to try to control d5. We're going to play f5. If he takes on h5, we're going to put the rook maybe on g8 and really bully the center in a Sveshnikov manner that you would play anyway. But the h-pawn, with the inclusion of it, a lot of times can help you with opening lines. So this is an aggressive opening, understanding that if you're playing the Sveshnikov, you're playing it with the inclusion of h5. And this h5 move could usually really help you, especially if white wants to be greedy and try to open the file. I've won many games just because they got greedy, taking the knight and then end up taking the pawn. But then where do you put your king safely? Because these knights are clumsy, and there's always a constant attack on this side of the board. A very deep understanding right there. Very deep understanding. Okay, so let's move. Bishop e6, he gets out the way with a castle, right? Knight c4 is the main move. I've actually never in my life faced castle in this position. I was like, I mean, I know it's a move, but like, I'm never like, it's a logical move, and he did not. Everyone always plays knight c4 every game, and I got a lot of games in this opening. It's knight c4, so I'm like, all right, cool. So he castles, which is like logical, right? He castles, and then I go knight to d4, which is the move I was going to play anyway, right? There's a difference, and I like to teach a little bit here on this. Is if the bishop, I made a rule that if the bishop was on f1 and knight c4, with the bishop on e6, then my rook goes to ca. But if the bishop's on e2, then I'm automatically going to go knight d4 for the tempo or tempi that sometimes you can receive. With the knight takes, with it being a tempo, a capture, also sometimes with check, and the king being on g1, which highlights, problems here with the knight. So I'm going knight d4 when the bishop's on e2. If it's on f1 in this particular position or type of position, and I see knight c4, and then I'm going rook to c8. There's a problem of going rook c8 instead of rook c8 right now is problematic because I think they go bishop c4 sometimes, and then they swing the knight around, but it's weird. It's a weird move order. Thanks for the 10 piece. Mad Quick in the building. What up, bro? Mad Quick Chess. What up, dog? Yeah, we looking at this first round, bro. So, all right, castles, right? I go knight d4. He goes knight d5. And this was a pretty sweet move. I was like, oh, he's swinging. Oh, he's trying to hit me, right? Now, this involves calculation, right? So you need to calculate. Battle of the FMs. Yeah, it's me and Todd. So black to move, or what do you do, chat? It's black to move. He goes knight d5, trying to play maybe c3, c4 stuff, putting some pressure here. What do you do? They said not a move. Thanks for the team, bro. Mad Quick. So where do we go, chat? You want to think about it, obviously, because there's lots of things to do. Bishop e7. From Padaka, so putting the bishop, okay. Breaking the pin. Another one for bishop e7. Knight takes d5, and you stare at him real hard. Yo, that's just so funny, bro. Because it's so garbage to do that. I stare at him real hard, take it, and just stare at him. But you looking stupid. In fact, there is actually one time something like this. What a game. It's Fabiano versus Hikaru. Or maybe it's Hikaru versus Fabi. But I think it's Fabi versus Hikaru. And it's a Najdorf Sicilian? Maybe not Najdorf. But he sacrifices his queen for like 3 pieces. The knight goes to f5. The knight gets to, another one gets to d5. It's a crazy game. It's a crazy game. But that's what this reminds me of. But this is not that. This is not that at all. I remember that. Yeah, that was a fire game. Like, oh my goodness. That game was crazy. So, I think that ended in a draw too, though. But bishop takes d5 is what I chose. Because we're not going to take on d5. We're not about to do that, right? Don't take with the knight. So I take with the bishop because this knight has to go. One thing that you need to know, this resembles even the Najdorf structure. So for Najdorf players, for Sveshnikov players, for Kalashnikov players, for players that play the Sicilian, and understand that d5 is a huge hold for you in many cases, but we do have f5 and all these 5 stuff that you can do a lot. So you need to be, and Fabi won. Oh, he won? Oh, okay. He won. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Big fan. Thank you, fighter. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, but I know that game was crazy though, for sure. So, but knight to d5. And this knight d5 is very annoying. Also, the knight is going to come around this way. He's going to solidify, even playing c4, and just clamp on d5. So, me, from having even previous knight of knowledge and playing in positions, I actually had a game with Martin Del Campo in my last tournament that I ended up winning this game as black, but I had a problem with this knight on d5, and I had to chop this off due to learning. Like, I got to get rid of this knight. In fact, top engine move right now is get rid of it. Take this knight, bro. You gotta go, right? You have to go. You have to go. You have to. Hang on. Oh, yeah, it's all good, man. Yeah, that was a while back. Yeah, it was a while back with the Fabi game. So bishop takes d5, and then e takes, and I take on e2 because he's gonna play c3, and I don't want to just keep, he's gonna keep the bishop. So we take it. Knight takes, queen takes. I go bishop e7 finally, right? Finally, and then he takes, and then he goes c4 first to defend everything. If I castle, obviously this is the problem with h5 sometimes, is if it's not aggressive, if things aren't going super aggressive, then you have to stop and defend it, which I do. I defend it, g6, I'm going to castle next. He goes f4, and here we go. I castle, and then here's the move, f5. Woo! Whoa. Oh, whoa. So I calculated this, and I was ready for this. But f5 seems like a scary, scary move. It seems like a very scary move, chat. How do you handle this f-pawn that he just rushed down the board here? What do you do, chat? What do you do? Thank you there, fighter. What do you do, bro? This pawn is real. It's getting very real. So you have to find some type of defense or some type of activity. g5, okay? So we have one for g5. An interesting move, very interesting actually. g5, king g7, bishop g7, queen e8. That's an interesting move. He's defending this way. Queen b6, g5 hangs a pawn, g5 snaps h5, correct. Yep, g5 is 100% premium. Garbage. 100% premium garbo there. And after g5, there is a queen takes h5. But you do have this check, which you could try to take on b2. But I could actually just go rook f2, weirdly enough. And I mean, I still, weirdly enough, will take black. Because I'm about to open up lines. But, and I'm going to show you this idea later. So g5 is actually garbo right now. But believe it or not, I had this in my idea. And I'm going to show you, right? This is why, you know, make sure y'all get the shirts and stuff. Let me put this. I can actually do this on the YouTube. Boom. Here, quick segment, right? If you're watching from YouTube, Canty. Right, shopcantymerch.com, calculation over everything. Right, shout out to our designer to make that calculation over everything. Yeah, it was a lot of calculating in this. A lot of calculating y'all about to see. Okay, watch this. Okay, I go king g7. Engine didn't like this, but this is just a move that you make. Like you play king g7. Bruh. This is what you do, and the reason for it is the squares are loose. You get the king closer. You can play rook h8 if you need to in many cases, right? Everything's nice. And then if pawn takes, if this ever happens, I'm not scared of anything, bro. I'm not scared of anything. Like, you don't have any pieces. Your knight needs to get here. Like, how long is it going to take to get over there? Your rook, it takes a while to get this. It's not coordinated. So there's nothing, actually. So after king g7, I'm chilling, right? I'm chilling. So after king g7, king d7, my guess, wasn't sure. Yeah, there you go. What was engine choice? Engine choice, that's a great question. I just got that hat and you changed it. That's not. Oh yeah, SVH. Actually, we can get you. We can get another one too, bro. Like whatever you like, my guy. I got you. Rook c8. Rook c8. I looked at, but I mean, that didn't feel right. It still felt loose on rook c8. e4 actually is an engine move too as well. e4, no. e4 I knew I had to do because I want to open the bishop up, but not right now. I was like, I'll probably play king g7. Like, I can do that later. King g7, because if he moves, I have like checks and stuff. But so he goes rook d1, brings the rook in. Gotta support you. Thanks, bro. My guy, SBH. Rook and then check, king h1. And now, okay, guys, black to move. Black to move, chat. What do we do? What do we do in this position? It doesn't feel that good. And let's actually get some evaluations too as well. I mean, not that it doesn't feel that good, but what do you do? Now, let's get some evaluations. What do you think the eval says? Computer eval. And what is the move for black? Evaluations. And what's the move for black? Evaluations. And what's the move? Now G5, Greco mate ideas from Mad Quick Chess. Mad Quick Chess. Okay, we have rook E8 minus 0.02, rook H8 0.2, minus 0.2, okay, minus 3, rook C8 minus 3. Pataka, like, bro, he getting smashed, bro. He down a piece, bro. He down a piece, and he not even down a piece. Minus 3 plus 0.06, queen B4 plus 1, rook H8. Okay, so the answer here is actually, it's a minus 0.14. Minus 0.14. So it's like equal. It's equal. And black has like they prefer black by the slightest of the slight. You know, like it's slightest of the slight. So it's super equal. But as a human, I actually like my position, but I don't like it that much to say that I have anything, and I don't even think I can push for more. It doesn't feel like the greatest. It feels like, okay, it's whatever. It's the first round. Cougar Bait, what's up, bro? So here, I actually choose this move. Now, let me show you. In fact, I go E4, which is a cool move right here. That's a cool move. I knew I was going to have to open this up because of the diagonal. There's tactics. Look at the bishop, right? It's a beautiful bishop. And I also have a passed pawn now. Let's pay attention to this. But also, I did think about this, which is G5. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I was going to play this. But the problem, and let me show you why. G5 is so cool because of queen takes H5. And then, right, you could take, now I was looking at stuff like this, obviously. And if queen E2, right, E4. Now, of course, he's not going to allow this. But this could easily happen, guys. Like, look at this, right? Where his king could end up in a mating net, you know, out of nowhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? His king could be mated. His king could be mated, bro. But here, think about this. Think about this. I'm going to play G5. And then after that, he going to look at me like I'm crazy. Because he's never going to take this pawn. Ever. Ever. You think he's going to take this pawn? No. So you don't play this kind of chess. Because he's not a player that's going to take this pawn. So you're just setting a stupid trap. Right? That he's not going to fall for. So you made a committal move at the same time. So this is why G5 is not the greatest. Because it's very committal. It's very committal. And this could also be weak. I mean, it could also weaken your king even more. So I'm banking on a protected e-pawn. I was thinking the same thing, Matt Quick. So I'm like, you know what? I can play G5 later. It's not necessary. I'm going to go E4. Now, Todd is tactical too. He loves tactics. He hits me with a move. Here we go. Y'all ready? I was not expecting this at all, bro. I was like, he about to play this, or like, you know, like, I mean, let's go, right? I'm about to bring the rook over. I'm like, I'm pushing for more. I'm already thinking about how I'm trying to like push this pawn and like try to convert and try to get the king in. And then here we go. He hit me with this right here. Nice C2. Oh, I was like, what the? Bro, this man, what? Garbage. And it's not Garbo at all, in fact. I was like, yo, what? Oh, whoa, hold on, big fella. Hold on. And a lot of times, like, you know, when you get surprised at the board, there's good surprises. The ones that are like, oh, that was trash. Like, I didn't think he was going to do that. Garbage. You'd be hyped. Like, oh, man, that was garbage. Like, those are great surprises. And then you have the surprises that was like, oh, snap. I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one. Bruh. Those are the scary ones. Because you're like, wait a second. Dang, sheesh. Am I lost? Like, that's the first thing you think. Damn, I lost. Dang, I lost the game off some stupid. But obviously, of course, you don't always think that. But I was like, wait, I thought you couldn't do this. And he did it anyway. So I was like, oh, snap. Well, what do you do, chat? What do you do? Do we take the pawn or not? Are you feeling froggy or are you not, chat? You got to tell me right now. Are you feeling froggy or are you not? It's black to move. You gonna take this pawn or you not gonna take this pawn? What you gonna do? What you gonna do with your bad self, chat? Take the pawn, says not. Take those pawns, says chess lover. Do not, says Kazakh Barbados. I'm learning open pro and open take. Yeah, I'm learning. Let's go. Thank you, Coyote. Appreciate it. Nope, not touching it. Take it. Take and stay pinned. I feel the lights they were extending. Oh wait, F takes G6 is a huge problem after rook takes B7. Level poison pawn. Prove the god. I don't like the pin. Okay, so let me show y'all something here, right? First off, let's go back to the page, and I want y'all all to go get this calculation order. We got to rep hard, right? I got hats coming in, right? Mine beer is tracking on the order, so mine is set between like the 13th and the 20th or something like that. Right before I go to that, but I'm gonna be rocking mine, right? Calculation is everything. Watch this, right? Watch this. Calculation is everything. Here we go. So here we go. In fact, I calculated the line. And why calculation is everything is because I calculated the line and I said, I'm okay. I can take this pawn and I can get away with it. I can take this pawn and I can get away with it. So I looked at it and the engine says, take the pawn. But I didn't take it because I was like, nah, bro. Like, this is what I calculated. I calculated queen takes, rook b1, right? I can even take the second pawn, but I'm not going to. I need my queen to get back. So I'm going to bring the queen back, but then he can take on g6. I take back. Rook takes b7 is with check. You have to allow check. Bruh. Those are always the hard ones. You have to allow the check. And here, watch this. Believe it or not, any move I make with the king is fine. But here's the best one. And this is what I calculated. King h6. Unbelievable. I was thinking like, and I saw this position in my head and was like, I don't believe that I should be doing this. Like this, I'm not trying to, this is the first round, right? I'm like, this is the first round. And I don't know if my king should be like this. Like, I mean, if you put yourself in my shoes here, you start castled, right? Like I castled my king and now it's on h6. So I'd rather not go with these type of complications here, but in fact, it's equal. Engine says, and I mean, I would say it's the higher end for black on equal. Right now, it's minus 0.72, so they do prefer black. And reason being, I do have a pass pawn. White's king is not the safest. I'm also going to move this bishop. I'm also going to move this bishop, which attacks the rook, which is the back rank problem. His rook is nice on the 7th, but it's by himself, right? And I have the dark squares covered. Any check is going to be with bishop g5, and I actually could push for more. Interesting enough. And I saw this calculation over everything once again, but I saw it, but I was like, I don't want to give that kind of counterplay up. So after e4, I play rook e8. I just brought the last piece into the game. It's all zeros right now. He plays b3. I go queen a5, and I offer to draw. I'm like, hey, bro, look, you know what? Ain't no bloodshed here. I don't know what's about to happen. And right here, he actually took the draw. So here, this was the first game ends in a draw. But in the post-game analysis here, he was like, what would you do on b4? Let me show you guys how crazy this could have gotten. He was like, yo, what would you do on b4? I'm like, okay, I would probably take. And then we looked at a line with c5 immediately. So I stopped, and I was like, should I take this or not? And I think we looked at a line that I did capture. After capture, there was a d6, I think. Oh, capture. I think I went rook c8. And I think he went takes, d6, maybe? No, maybe it's queen takes e4. But this got scary, right? And then this stuff starts walking, and we were looking at lines, and this didn't feel good. Right now, they give this a +1 for white. You know, and this was interesting. He could have tried to push this. Engine gives this, though, after b4, it's queen takes c5. I'm supposed to take immediately. And then play rook e5, which is not a move, is not on my radar at all. But I guess it's saying that if you move the pawn, I take on c5. Right, after all that, you were happy about the draw. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely happy about the draw here. First round, look, fast first round, and with black, too. Of course, The standard usually, especially when you're playing like chess like this and playing for big stuff and playing for norms and stuff like that, obviously the standard is winning with white and drawing with black. Now, of course, even Bobby Fischer says turning point was when he can start playing for a win with black. That is definitely my forte. I'm definitely a fan of winning, trying to play for a win with black, but not forcing things. And in here, I didn't want to try to force anything, so we'll keep it like that. All right. Born. What 94 happens right here? 94. I'll probably just take it, and then I could probably take this now. I mean, you got like, what is this? You losing, bro? You're losing. Like, you're not queening this. You got one pass pawn. You don't have two. Remember that. You got one. If you get rid of this, then you're probably winning. But then if you get same, I get one, you get one, right? That's how it goes. That's how it goes. But this will end in a draw. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We're going to cover all 9 rounds as usual. So we'll see you guys on the next video. Of course, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. And we'll see you on the next one.